Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Coming back with a Warden build. I know a lot of people are wondering what is it that they should run on their Warden. I'm going to go over what I run on my Warden. When I do play it, Warden's very powerful, super underestimated. A lot of people, I read the forums and people are telling me, oh, Warden's in a bad spot, or from like watching other people's streams and they're like, Warden's pretty weak, it lacks a lot of damage. And I'm like, damn, I wish I could have some of these tooltips that Wardens have that I wish I could have on my Magicka DK. And Warden is sitting here, doing range damage with like literally double the amount of damage that a Magicka DK has with more spell damage. I'm running like almost 4k spell damage on my build, and my tooltips are nowhere near what Warden can achieve. In any event, like I said, this is a Warden. My Warden is a high elf. I recommend being a high elf. For the Warden class, I'm running the Atro. Like I said, this is a no CP build. Right, this is in Cyrodiil, so we gain the extra HP bonus, all points into Magicka. This is for the Magicka Warden. You can see the stats here. HP is 20k, almost 41.7k. Magicka 9600 stam. Health recovery, these are the recoveries you can see right here with the pot. Spell damage, of course, that is with major sorcery. 37% critical, 50% critical damage. These are the resistances. Seems a bit low, and of course, Warden has access to an additional 8% reduction. So this is actually 35% reduction with 33% physical reduction. We're running mostly spell. We're mostly running impen on this build, and then of course, because we're in light armor, we gain the extra pen. Look at the ridiculous amount of spell power, effective spell power on this build is 8760. It's far above my Magicka DK that's pushing like 4k spell damage, 33k Magicka, but that's not even it. The tooltips on Warden abilities just hit so hard. Any event, we're running, of course, Necropotence is a great set. It can be easily kept up with the Bull Netch. It gives you access to extra max Magicka. So we're running 5 Necropotence, 2 Ice Heart for the shield and for the extra critical. So that gives you a damage shield of 4300 every 6 seconds. And of course it pulses for ice damage. It lasts for 6 seconds. And of course it can be procced every 6 seconds. And we're also running Dampen Magicka. I prefer Dampen Magicka because you don't need the Magicka recovery. Magicka recovery is sitting pretty high. You want the extra damage shield. So between Dampen Magicka and the shield from Ice Heart, you're sitting at around 10,000 damage shield. Other set that I'm running is the Destruction Mastery. This is while you have a Destruction Staff equipped, it increases your max Magicka by 2400, and of course that's because we're running a damage shield. Damage shields are based off of your max Magicka, and of course a percentage of your HP. We're running a really good amount of max Magicka between Inner Light and of course Northern Storm for the extra 8%, and then an additional 5 plus an additional 2 from the passive. So that's why we're sitting at almost 41,700. So I'm running a Triglyph on the big pieces, and then 3 Magicka on the small, and then I just left this one as HP so that we would sit above 20k. Running Magicka Recovery on the rings. And then of course Destructive Staff Inferno on the front bar with the Shot Glyph. That's a Nirnhoned. And then on the back bar we're running an Ice Staff. An Ice Staff with infused weapon damage. Because you want a destructive staff on both bars, or at the very least, no matter which way you run the set, if you ran it with a Necropotence, you'd still want a destructive staff on the back bar, because then your max Magicka on the back bar is going to sit really low, because you won't have Inner Light and you won't have the bonus from the Destruction Mastery. So that's why even when we swap to the back bar, it's still sitting at 39k on the back bar. So it wouldn't really matter, because when you cast your dampen on the front bar, it really won't matter that you lose the max Magicka on the back bar. Anyways, so like I said, we're running Clockwork for the extra HP, the HP recovery, max Magicka, and of course the Magicka recovery. Wardens don't have the best mobility. Their mobility is slightly better than Magicka DK, but That's why I chose to run with really high Magicka recovery, so that we're able to keep a damage shield up. You get a tooltip on fucking Screaming Cliff Racers, 9800 plus an additional 15%, depending upon how far you're literally, when you're sitting at max range, you're literally spamming 11,000 Cliff Racers at people. The people are like, yeah, Warden's pretty weak. I wish I could have that kind of a tooltip on my whip. It's just not going to happen. It's so stupid that you can do, you can hit people for an 11k spammable from 28 meters, but if you're a DK with a 5-meter whip, I can barely push 8k on my whip, and that's fully buffed up with Burning Spell Weave. I chose Flame Punch for the stun. Next patch, you're going to lose the dot, but you have access to the stun. You could either run this one, it does damage, or you can run the one the Warden has. I prefer the Flame Punch for the knockback as well. Like I said, running Dampen, Inner Light, Bird of Prey for the extra Minor Berserk, the Major Expedition, 6 seconds, plus they're reducing, They're reducing advanced species from 3% to 2%, which really isn't that much of a damage loss. It'll probably, on this build, it'd be like maybe 150 effective spell power. It's kind of irrelevant. Running Northern Storm on both bars so that we're not having huge amounts of changes in our max Magicka. Deep Fissure on the back bar. It's got 12k tooltip, and of course it's got the Major Breach, and basically, which is why I'm running Infuse in the back bar, because you're literally going to be light attacking, Deep Fissure, light attack, every 2 Deep Fissures or so, you're going to be keeping up your Crystallized Slab. Between Dampen, Slab, and Leeching, you have more than enough sustain. I chose Crystallized Slab, as you can see there, for the damage return. It'll basically absorb 3 projectiles. It'll restore 2400 Magicka after absorbing 3 projectiles. And if it procs the Icy Slab has a tooltip of 7,000 damage. I prefer that over running things like Fetcher, because Fetcher is literally just a damage ability. It's a magical loss, whereas you're going to be gaining Magicka from Crystallized Slab, and it acts as both a defensive and an offensive ability for when you're trading, for example, like against either another Magicka Warden or any other Magicka class that's using projectiles like Nightblade or Sork, so you can absorb a lot of the projectiles and you're returning damage as you're basically playing defensive. When you go back to your back bar to recast your abilities, you're basically still acting offensively while you're, of course, putting up defensive abilities. Leeching Vines is amazing. Every 1 second it will return 2289. It lasts for 10 seconds. It can be placed on you or on another person. Totally forgot to put in Minor Toughness, right? Because it procs Minor Toughness, so that'll put us at 22k HP. Really, that's much better than, I can't believe I forgot about Minor Toughness. So you can apply that to you or to your teammates. Whenever you're spamming any of your animal companions, Bond with Nature is going to give you a heal for like 630. You've got healing coming in from Leeching, and then of course you've got some recovery here from the Bullnetch. I chose the Bullnetch because it will give you Major Sorcery, but it will also give you stamina recovery. The reason that works out, as you can see right here, the Bullnetch is equivalent, right? It's 4,800, and that's over the course of 27 seconds. So just to compare it to regular stamina regen, we'll multiply that by 2. So that's the equivalent of 755 stamina recovery from the Bullnetch. We've got 678 base recovery, that's with a pot. Plus we're running as a, where are we? Alright, we're running as a high elf. This is why I recommend high elf. So every 6 seconds, whenever you cast a class ability, you'll restore 640 every 6 seconds. So that's the equivalent of about another 210. And then on top of that, we're running 2 pieces of heavy armor. And so from heavy armor from Constitution, that'll give you an additional 108 Magicka and stamina recovery. So that'll be an additional 108. It's because it's every 4 seconds, so it's basically every 108 equivalent every 2 seconds. So that basically puts you at 1351. But then you also have stamina recovery from Nature's Gift. Every time you heal yourself or you heal an ally, you will restore an additional 250. So conservatively, we can say that that is an additional 250 from Bond with Nature, from Nature's Gift. So in essence, you're sitting at around 1600 stamina recovery with 2550 Magicka recovery. So that's kind of why you can deal with having a low stamina pool, and it's also why I chose to run an ice staff on the back bar. In case you need to block, you'll be blocking with your Magicka and not with your stamina. And of course, you don't really, on the front bar, you're not going to be needing to block because you're going to have your dampen up. Dampen is going to give you, dampen is 5500, and that's before the bonus. So it's 5571, and then because we're wearing 5 light, that gives us a time point an additional 30%, and then plus 5571. So our dampen is 7000, and then plus the extra 4300 from Ice Heart. So that basically, when everything procs, we're basically with an additional 11,500 in damage shields between dampen and the proc from Ice Heart. Running Ice Fortress, which is our major physical and spell resistance, and of course gives us minor protection, 100% uptime. In terms of the glyphs, like I said, on the back bar, we're running with the weapon glyph. So this is basically going to be up 100% of the time, because every time your Deep Fissure goes off, you're going to go right back to your back bar to reapply Deep Fissure. And of course, when your Crystallized Slab is down, if you're getting hit from range, you're going to reapply that. So you're going to have basically 4 damage abilities, 2 on the front and back, and of course, like I said before, we're running Clockwork. In terms of the buffs for this particular build, as you can see from the Tri Potion, we're running Major Endurance, Fortitude, Intellect, Prophecy on the front bar because of Inner Light. Like I said, Major Resolve, Major Sorcery, Major Ward. Also, we're running Minor Berserk, that's going to be up 100% on the front bar, and then of course Minor Toughness whenever you heal yourself. And then of course, if you were to proc, for example, we're going to have Major Breaches up 100% of the time, and then of course whenever you proc, that's why I'm running the Shock Glyph on the front bar, which can proc the additional 8% from Minor Vulnerability. And then of course, like I said before, with the Weapon Glyph on the back bar, that's going to be up 100% of the time, because we're going to be going back to our back bar every time our Deep Fissure goes off. We're going to go right back, Light Attack, and reapply Deep Fissure, and then go right back into Cliff Racer and then CC. So I really don't see, I mean, I wish I could have, some of these tooltips between a 12k spammable and basically a 10k spammable. You have, this is like Wings 2.0 for everybody who complained about Wings being OP. Crystallized Slab returns ridiculous amounts of damage, absorbs projectiles, and restores Magicka. And it's like, no one ever complains about this ability, but it's like, but God forsake, a Magicka DK reflects back something to you, everybody complains. And it's like, why don't the Nightblades and the Sorks complain about Crystallized Slab? Like, no one talks about Crystallized Slab. Crystallized Slab is better than the old Wings. It always was better than the old Wings, and it's like no one ever complained about this shit in any real sense. Meanwhile, the underpowered Magicka DK that people complain about nonstop. But in any event, I'll be playing this build over the weekend. I've been playing it on and off. I really don't play Magicka Warden all that much. It's a good class. It's just, for me, it's just not the playstyle I enjoy. It's a very strong class, regardless of what they say on the forums. As you can see right here, running, 8,700 effective spell damage is really high. It's like I typically try to shoot for just over 7, and typically when I get over 7, like most builds hit really hard. So for a Magicka Warden to be sitting on 8,700 effective spell damage, it's like Wardens really don't have anything to complain about in terms of being weak, underpowered. They have so much in their kit. Between, you don't even need a burst heal, between being able to run damage shields and have the 8% minor toughness, between minor toughness and the minor protection. It's like Magicka Wardens are, I would say, are definitely in a very good spot. And even running with low stamina recovery and a low stamina pool, like you're able to keep up your stamina with the amount of stamina recovery that this build has. In any event, I'll be posting this one. This one's going to go up on battleofthebuild.com. Be sure to check out battleofthebuild.com. It's your #1 source for ESO, no CP, and battleground builds. If you're looking for a battleground build for every single class, be sure to check out battleofthebuild.com. If you're new to PvP and you're not sure how to build, be sure to check out the What Are Battlegrounds How to Build. There's multiple videos here, whether you're having a difficult time choosing your class, choosing your race, or having a hard time trying to figure out how to build. There's a lot of information that's here for the players. I created this website so that players could know how to build. Even put up a bow build for people who are looking for bow gameplay for no CP and for battlegrounds. There's a very effective build. I've played this multiple times on stream. For free to take a look at battleofthebuild.com. It's basically for every single class I have builds, whether you play stamina, magicka, even hybrid builds, whether you want support, tank builds, DPS builds, whatever you're looking for, feel free to check out battleofthebuild.com. And of course, I've also posted and be updating the patch notes for the scale breaker DLC that'll be coming out within like a month or so. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Take care, and God bless. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe.